Testing 1 2 3. Welcome to Concordia, Chicago. It's very nice and cold and warm up here. We are testing mic check. Good afternoon and welcome to Concordia Stadium here for a Northern Athletic Collegiate Conference matchup between the visiting Raiders of the Milwaukee School of Engineering and the home Concordia University Chicago Cougars. Let's get the starting lineups for today's game. For the Raiders, in center field, Faith Mata. At first base, Jenna O'Donnell. Batting third is Jenna Trewin. Cleanup is Jada Nelson. In the five-hole, Carly Emery. Batting sixth, Jocelyn Claudy. Batting seventh, Celine Pacheco. Batting eighth, Addie Cortman. And rounding out the lineup for the Raiders is Caroline Forrest. For the Cougars, starting at second base, number 22, Emily Garcia. Catching today is number 12, Jessica Gang. The first baseman, number 13, Melissa Hadzik. Batting fourth is Bella Archuleta. Fifth, Arissa Santos. Pitching today for the Cougars is Eden Pufall. Batting seventh, number 2, Callie Tierney. Batting eighth, number 9, Gina Westfall. And rounding out the lineup for the Cougars, number 4, Haley Goldsby in center field. The Cougars come into this matchup 4-6 on this season. The Raiders are sitting at 5-5. This is the first conference game for both of these teams here today as we get set for the top half of the first inning. So as we're set here to begin inning number one, it is 16, Eden Pufall in the circle for the Cougars. And up to bat here for the Raiders, number 8, Faith Mata. As here we go, first pitch from River Forest, Illinois. It'll be high, ball one. Wind blowing pretty steady here, left to right. And pitch number 2 will be ball number 2, also a little high. Mata comes into this game hitting at 278 for the Raiders. She'll take a swing at that one. It'll head straight foul towards the on-deck circle. O'Donnell able to get out of the way here. It's a 2-1 count. Pufall checks the wristband. They're lined up. And it's going to be a bunt. Fielded by Archuleta. Archuleta throws, and it's Garcia covering first base. That's the first out of this afternoon's ball game. We one down here in the top half of the first inning, and that'll bring up the 2-hitter, number 1, Jenna O'Donnell. O'Donnell coming in to this game right above 300 as she takes the first, that first pitch will be a strike. She's got 7 hits to her name so far here in the early goings of this season. Pufall check the wristband once again. Pitch on the way, and it's up over towards us here. That pitch got a little close to the camera. We'll work on getting that right back squared up. Count is 1-1. And there's a base hit up the middle by O'Donnell. Goldsby will go cut off. It'll get all the way to the fence, and she's going to try for second. The throw from center field, and she'll be safe. And that is a double for Jenna O'Donnell. What the Raiders needed there, a 1-out 2-bagger from the 2-hitter. Now a runner in scoring position for the 3-hitter, number 11, Jenna Trewin. One out here in the top half of the first inning. It'll be Poofall, Treewin. She'll take it. That's a strike on the outside corner of the plate. Outfielders at a pretty good depth here, not too far from the warning track. That one's going to be just outside in the left-hander's batter box. The count will fall to 1 ball and 1 strike. Gang's able to corral that one as it heads into the dirt. It's 2-1 now. And for the Cougars, they played on Thursday. They fell in a doubleheader, both games, by a combined 2 runs to Wheaton College on a chilly Thursday afternoon. It's another one in the dirt, and it'll be 3-1 here on Treewin. Raiders played just over a week ago against Middlebury College. That was down in Florida for their spring break trip as their strike 2, and that'll bring this count to full with 1 out and a runner on second base. So for the Raiders, their first game back from the warm weather of Florida here, around 45 degrees in River Forest. As here's the full count pitch, and that's going to be low, and it'll be a walk. To put a runner on first and second here with 1 out. Cleanup hitter now for the Raiders. Jada Nelson just under 400 here to start the season, sitting at 379 batting average. Got 11 hits to her name and a pair of RBIs as well. She'll be looking to corral the first RBI of this afternoon's matchup. So that's going to be up the middle. A diving attempt by Garcia, but it'll get past. Goldsby will throw home. It'll be stopped by Hadzik, who will send it to third, but that'll be an RBI base hit for Nelson, and it's the Raiders who strike first here in the top half of the first inning, 1-0. Got a runner on first and third with 1 out. That'll bring up the right fielder, number 20, Carly Emery, here with runners on the corners. The first pitch will be taken for a strike on the outside corner of the plate. First time that Poofall was able to get ahead in the count on the first pitch. First pitches to the first 4 batters were all balls. Similar location, and that time we'll take a swing at it, down 0-2. Balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, going to be outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And be fouled off. Emery staying alive here. She comes into this game hitting at .259. And the off-speed pitch will get her here. She's going to fly up to the third baseman, Bella Archuleta, and it'll be 2 down here in the top half of the first inning. Still runners on first and third. And Poofall with the off-speed pitch there with 2 strikes. Effective Able to get the easy fly out, just what you need there. Situation with runner on third base and only one out. You really need a strikeout, turn a double play, or a fly ball to the infield, and she was able to complete that task. Pitch number one is going to be a strike. Here is Jocelyn Claudy, number 13, playing third base here for the Raiders this afternoon. Pufal's pitch going to be an off-speed again, fouled out towards right field. It'll be off the wall in right field foul. Westfall's over there to corral it. And here's another 0-2 count on consecutive batters here for Pufal. Runners still on first and third for the Raiders. Here's Pufal's 0-2 pitch, going to be outside and taken. 1-2. Pufal to check the wristband. And that one's in the dirt. Gang able to stop it. Keeps the runners where they are. We got a 2-2 count now. Claudy worked it back to even. And then it'll be fouled back. Claudy staying alive here. Claudy, another Raider above the 400 mark in batting average so far this season. She does have a home run to her name as well, as that'll be swung and tipped into the glove. Gang will squeeze it, and that'll be all for the first inning. As one run on 2 hits for the Raiders, they leave 2, and we'll be back for the bottom half of the first inning on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Here we'll have the bottom half of the first inning for you. It'll be Emily Garcia to lead off for the Cougars, number 22, the freshman, hitting at a .406 mark. And this Cougar squad will have 8 right-handed batters. The solo lefty will be the 7th hitter, number 2, Callie Tierney. So almost exclusively hitting from the right side of the box. We'll see how the Raider pitcher, Katie Pollock, can handle. Pollock leads the Northern Athletic Collegiate Conference in strikeouts so far this season, as that first pitch from Pollock is a strike. And Garcia falls to 0-1 here. This pitch number 2, it'll be high. Be a 1-1 count for Garcia. The outside, just around the chalk of the left-handed batter's box. Count is now 2-1. for Garcia was a strong start over spring break. That's worked her way into this leadoff position. As the eye will now be solid. It'll be 3-1 in a count here. Pollock rubs some dirt on the hand, needing to come back with a big strike here. Pitch on the way. It'll be swung on by Garcia. Just foul. Past the third baseman, over by Coach Sarah O'Malley Fisher. It is just a little bit too cold for O'Malley Fisher to attempt to field that one. She'll keep her hands in her pockets. It's a full count here. The leadoff hitter, Emily Garcia, exactly what you want out of a leadoff hitter. Work the count here as full count pitch is swung on once again. It'll be fouled back into the netting here. Caught by the catcher, delivered back to Pollock. So we will get another full count pitch here. This time swung again. It's going to be over near the fence, and it is corralled there for the first out of the inning by Claudia. That'll bring the junior catcher, number 12, Jessica Gang, to the plate. Gang will take the first pitch for a strike. Jessica Gang, another Cougar above 400 here. As her second pitch will be swung on in line to third base, where it is snagged by Carolyn Forrest. And to the plate now for the Cougars, 13, Melissa Hadzik. She will look to salvage the inning for the Cougars. She swings the first pitch right through it. She'll be down 0-1 to start this at-bat. Raiders able to turn a pair of hits into a run in their top half of the first inning. Cougars so far silent here as their strike number 2 by Hadzik. Pollock now firmly in the driver's seat. So here's the 0-2 pitch. It's going to be low and outside. The take by Hadzik will bring the count to 1-2. Off-speed pitch can't make it all the way there. Melissa Hadzik leaves this team in batting average, comes in 6th in the Northern Athletic Collegiate Conference. She's even at a 500. That's right back up the middle, corralled by Pollock. Over to Claudia, and the Cougars will go 1, 2, 3 in the bottom half of the first inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. It's the Raiders up 1-0 after 1 here. We'll be right back. Welcome back on the Cougar Sports Network, here to bring you the top half of the second inning for the Raiders. It'll be number 5, Celine Pacheco, playing second base here. Will lead off the second inning for the Cougars. Still Eden Pufall in the circle for the Cougars. And the first pitch is going to be a strike. The Raiders made quick work of the Cougars in the bottom half of the first, and the pace of the bottom half was much quicker than the top half. Pufall taking her time in between pitches. Here's the second delivery. That's going to be lined right back up the middle, right past Pufall's glove. It'll be a leadoff single for the Raiders. left fielder will now come to bat. It is Addie Cortman, number 24. And as the Cougars had only one left-handed hitter in the lineup, the Raiders have 0. It'll be all 9 hitters for the Raiders today from the right side of the plate. That'll be a ball gang. Will throw down to first base. Hadzik will go for the tag. Will be safe without a slide. A 1 ball, no strikes. Squares to bunt. It'll be foul ball. Archuleta went for the ball. Umpire looked like he may have called a touch there, but it rolls harmlessly towards the on-deck circle. It'll be 1 ball and 1 strike here. Archuleta will creep now in anticipation of a bunt. As the bunt will now be off the table here with 2 strikes. Cortman will have to swing to advance Pacheco, who stands on first base after the leadoff single. Pufal's off speed will stay high as Cortman works the count to 2-2. Pufal comes to this game 4.42 ERA. That pitch will be off the plate. It's a full count now. Only 12.2 innings pitched here for Pufal in this young season. As Cortman ready for the full count. It'll be hits Archuleta. Garcia will field it off Archuleta and throw to first base. Great play there by the freshman. Excuse me. It's Arissa Santos, the sophomore shortstop. It's a hard hit ball off the glove of Archuleta up in the air. Santos fields it, throws over to Hadzik. Cougars able to get an out of that one. Pacheco moves to second base. It'll be runner on second with 1 out for the Raiders. And that first pitch is in there for a strike. That'll bring number 15, Caroline Forrest, to the plate, the third baseman. Made a nice play in the bottom half of the first inning. And a swing and a miss on strike 2. And so far, the Raiders having no trouble of putting the ball in play off of Pufal. See Goldsby shaded a little bit towards left center. Still fairly deep out there in left field. That pitch will be high and outside. Seen that a few times here from Pufal in the early goings. So a 1-2 count here for Forrest. Pufal ready to deliver. It'll be inside and even at 2-2. A lot of pitches so far here thrown by Pufal. So far up to 34 pitches. Be back to the first baseman. Pufal will not look to second, rather head to first to get the easy out there at first, but Forrest is able to move Pacheco to third base, so it'll be runner on third with 2 outs here for the Raiders. Then I'll roll it over to the top of the lineup, the center fielder, Faith Mata. Now the outfield will shade way in. Mata square squared to bunt her last time out. See if we see some sort of slap here. This pitch one is going to be low and outside. So Mata listed as a right-handed batter, but in the left side here, presumably to slap. She'll stay, and that one will be called a ball as well. Gang looks back for confirmation. Like pitch one might have been just off the plate on the outside, and pitch two just off the plate on the inside. So it'll be 2 balls and no strikes with a runner on third, 2 outs here. Pufall to deliver pitch number 3. It'll be swung on and fouled towards the Raider dugout. No harm in that foul ball. It'll be 2-1. So far the Raiders are 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position, as Mata will send that one right back up the infield. It'll be Goldsby to field it, and the second run will come across to score for the Raiders as they lead 2-0. That'll make the Raiders 2 for 5 now with runners in scoring position. So I'll bring Jenna O'Donnell to the plate with Mata at first base. Mata will take a large lead, but will not attempt to swipe second. O'Donnell 1 for 1 so far here today. She'll request for time, but it won't be granted by the umpire. Pufall will pitch and gang up quick. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Both of these teams, this is their first conference game. Raiders 5-5, Cougars 4-6, so sitting almost tied in the conference standings so far, as that's going to be flied out to right field. Got some distance though. Westfall loses it. It'll fall on the warning track off the wall. Mata will be around to score. Westfall will fire to third, and Jenna O'Donnell will have herself a triple. Looked like to be a routine fly ball, and that strong wind from left to right field just kept carrying off the bottom of the wall. And it is now 3-0 here in the top half of the second inning. So O'Donnell has herself her second extra base hit of the afternoon. That'll be a strike there. A good frame by the Cougar catcher, Jessica Gang. Here's Jenna Traywin. The Raider catcher to the plate. As Garcia will lay out for it, but that'll sneak past. Westfall will field it and head into second. As another RBI base hit. Jenna O'Donnell is in to score for the Raiders. And it's a quick 4-0 lead for MSOE. Gang will call a timeout and corral the team in the circle. Just trying to get some motivation to get out of this inning. Cougars do have 2 outs, and all 3 of these runs have come with 2 outs here in the second inning. It'll be Traywin on first base, and that'll bring Jada Nelson to the plate. 1 for 1 so far this afternoon. Through 11 at-bats for the Raiders, they have 5 hits with a walk as well. They're 3-6 with runners, 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position, as the first pitch is outside for Nelson. Nelson is the DP for the Raiders this afternoon. Raywin gets the signal from the third base coach on first. The off speed will fall in there for a strike, and that'll even the count at 1-1. Nelson's first plate appearance was a RBI single to center field. So that'll be one hopper to Archuleta. Archuletta's throw will be high, but Hadzik can corral it. And that'll get the Cougars out of the inning. But in this second inning for the Raiders, it was 3 runs on 4 hits with 1 stranded on base. We will be right back on the Cougar Sports Network with the rest of the second inning. Welcome back to the bottom half of the second inning. The Cougars down 4-0 here so far this afternoon. It'll be the cleanup hitter Bella Archuleta to stand in for the Cougars. Pollock made quick work of Concordia in the first inning. Went 1-2-3 as Archuleta will send that one out to right field, and it's going to be a snagged out there in right field. A reaching grab for out number 1. A fantastic play out there in right field by Carly Emery. And the Raiders are pumped up about that one. 4 up and 4 down for the Cougars. Here is the sophomore shortstop, Arissa Santos. And that first pitch will be in there for a strike. So far, Pollock is not being shy to pound these in the strike zone. Cougars doing a solid job of putting the ball in play. Just nothing found as Santos will ground to third base. It'll be an easy play there by Forrest. That is her second put out in as many innings. And here is the pitcher, number 16, Eden Pufall, going to try and help herself out here. It's 2 quick outs, as that'll be just off the handle of the bat, and the Cougars will go 1-2-3 once again in the second inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base for the Cougars. We'll be right back with inning number 3. In this top half of the third inning, we're going to get a pitching change for the Cougars. Into the circle for CUC is Megan Buska. A solid ERA for her so far this year, 1.75 in the 12 innings she's pitched, giving up 19 hits, 6 runs, 3 of them earned, only giving up 3 extra base hits. All of those are doubles. It'll be the right fielder, Carly Emery, who made that nice play in that last half of the inning. She'll take ball one low. And Buska is a freshman. She's a lefty from Plainfield North High School in Plainfield, Illinois. As it'll be 2 balls and no strikes to Emery. As that's a ripped foul. Emery was sitting back on that one. Really a left-handed hitter as well, so the information that I have at hand is rather incorrect. It says all 9 batters are right-handed hitters for the Raiders. This is the second lefty, as that's going to be swung on and head out to Goldsby off the wall in center field. The throw's going to be into second, and Emery will slide in safely. Garcia will scoop the one-hopper. It'll be a leadoff extra base hit for the Raiders, as Emery is able to put one off the center field wall and find herself safe at second base. So for the 3rd time in as many innings, the Raiders will have an extra base hit. This time with nobody out. It'll be Jocelyn Claudy, the first baseman, to bat, as that one's going to go off of her thigh, but the umpire is going to keep her here and say she stuck her knee out there, I assume. So that'll be a ball instead of a hit by pitch, but it'll keep Claudy here at least for another pitch. It's a 1-0 count with Emery straight ahead of her on second base. There's the pitch that's going to be fouled up and out of here on Division Street. It's going to bounce and take a few bounces towards the soccer fields across the street. But no cars. We are still at car count 0 so far this afternoon. And that's a line shot out to left center field. That's going to score. Emery, she will come around to score with ease. And there's nobody at first base, so they'll walk her back. The Cougars will able to keep Claudy with just a single, but another RBI base hit for the Raiders. And they are all over the Cougars so far through 3 innings. Here is Celine Pacheco. She is 1 for 1 as well. Pacheco will take the first pitch for a strike. Is Buska able to fire a strike on pitch number 1? And for those who dare to park on Division Street, probably 30 to 50 feet away from home plate here, it is parking at your own risk, most definitely. Last spring we may have hit 4 or 5 cars in a single doubleheader, so we like to keep track of the car count. But so far we've keeping all the cars clean, as that's going to be hit. Santos will fire to second and get the force out there. So Pacheco will reach on a fielder's choice, but the Cougars will get the lead runner, Claudy, at second base. That was a 6-4 put out for the Cougars for out number 1. Here is Cortman. Cortman's going to square to bunt, and that ball is going to hit her. She's going to say, the umpire will say she was in the box when that bunt hit her. Had she been outside of the box, that would have been an out for the Raiders, but the umpire quick to say she was still in the box. So it'll be no balls and 1 strike here on Cortman. Cortman will take a crack at that one. Line foul right past third base, and she is down 0-2 here. and will find herself down 0-2 with a runner on first base. One out here in the top half of the third inning. The pitch is going to be high and outside. The Raiders are currently 7 for 15, hitting at .467 with a pair of extra base hits. Cortland will fly that one into shallow left center field, but it'll find a spot and it'll fall for a base hit. Neither Contopoulos nor Goldsby could reach that one. Blooper into no man's land will be true for a base hit for Addie Cortman. And that'll bring up the 9-hitter, the third baseman, Caroline Forrest. And Forrest has been steady at third base here for the Raiders this afternoon. She will swing at the first pitch and head that one foul as well towards the Raider dugout. So lots of foul balls over there this afternoon. We've only seen a couple towards the Cougar dugout, but several towards the Raider dugout. It's 0-1 here with 2 runners on. That pitch will be high as Gang will try to pick off Cortman at first. Cortman slides in safely. That's the second time Gang has done that so far this afternoon. Here is Buska with the 1-1 pitch. It'll be swung on line towards Contopoulos, who will not be able to field it. It'll go between her legs. Be 1 run to score for the Raiders, and Cortman will be held at third base. That'll likely go in as a base hit with an E7 to advance. She'll likely get the RBI regardless. So the Raiders now up 6-0 with 2 runners in scoring position, only 1 out here in the top half of the third inning, and they will roll it over once again to the leadoff hitter, Faith Mata. The infield and outfield will be in once again. Outfield in to hopefully throw Cortman out. Forrest out from second base. Base hit to the outfield would score Cortman from third. That first pitch is a ball. Buska Mata will square, and Hadzik will wisely let that one roll foul. So it'll be a 1-1 count here for Mata. And Cortman didn't go on the bunt, so she was waiting to see how the Cougars would play. Not a squeeze attempt as Mata will square again, but pull back for ball number 2. Like the Cougars defense will be the corners charging, the middle infielders taking first and third, and Goldsby to take center. Mata will square, Hadzik will field, and she will be safe at first base. The bases will be loaded for Jenna O'Donnell, who is 2 for 2 this afternoon with an extra base hit. 1 out here in the top half of the third inning for the Raiders. Cougars could really use an easy out here, a strikeout, a pop fly, something in the infield. As pitch number 1 will be inside for a ball, and O'Donnell has got everything she wants right now. The bases are loaded. She already put one off the wall here this afternoon. She'll take a swing. The off speed will get her chasing. It's 1-1. She elected for the grand salami there, but came up empty. So the 1-1 count, O'Donnell will ready to receive it, and she swings. It'll be foul ball once again to the Raider dugout, and she is now in the hole 1-2. Buska now 2 strikes on the 2-hitter for the Raiders as she will deliver pitch 3. Archuleta will come home to the force out, so the Cougars will keep the run off the board as they get Cortman at the 4th base, home plate as it were. So here is Jenna Traywin. Jenna O'Donnell will reach on the fielder's choice. So 2 outs here still with the bases loaded for Traywin. She will take ball number 1 in the dirt. Raiders now hitting above 500 as a team. Traywin had a base hit earlier and a base on balls as well, so she has been on base twice so far this afternoon. And she's got a hitter's count here. It's 2 balls and no strikes with the bases loaded. Buska will check the wristband. And here is pitch 3 of the at-bat. It's going to be lined out to left center field. It'll score Forrest. It'll score Mata. And here is O'Donnell around from first base. It's going to be a bases clearing double for Jenna Traywin. Will score all 3 ducks on the pond. And Raiders are up 9-0 here in the 3rd inning. 5 runs in this 3rd inning alone. Here is Jada Nelson, cleanup hitter for the Raiders, as she will take the first pitch for a strike. So with 2 outs, it's Jenna Traywin with a 2-out double, 3 RBI. That'll be blooped in towards Contopoulos, and Contopoulos will make a running grab towards left center field. That'll get the Cougars out of the 3rd inning, but not before damage was done. 5 runs on several hits, and the Raiders will leave 1 stranded. We are through 2.5 here. It is Milwaukee School of Engineering up 9-0 on the Concordia University Chicago Cougars. The Cougars will come back to hit in the bottom half of the 3rd inning when we return on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back on the Cougar Sports Network here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. The Cougars will attempt to break up the no-hitter here by Pollock through just 2 innings. It's been 6 up and 6 down for the Cougars so far here this afternoon. It'll be Callie Tierney here as she will check swing. The umpire will say she did not go, but he will check down to first base. The first base umpire says she did go. Typically, you don't see the opposite corner umpire make a call like that. Typically, you'd send that down to third base, but without a third base umpire, the home plate umpire will check to first. And it'll be 1-1 count now after that second pitch goes low. So Pollock here to deliver, and Tierney will swing right through that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tierney will watch that one fly high. Tierney, a junior from Corona, California, Santiago High School. She'll watch that one into the dirt, and that'll bring a full count. second full count of the day for the Cougars. The freshman leadoff hitter Emily Garcia worked the count to full before popping up to first base as Tierney will ground that one to shortstop. It'll be O'Donnell to field it in the hole over to Claudia. It'll be a 6-3 put out for the first out in the third inning. I'll bring Gina Westfall, Cougars right fielder, the senior, to the plate. She will swing through pitch number 1, down 0-1. Westfall, one of the few players you'll see who does not wear batting gloves these days, especially on a chilly afternoon, but the wind has gone still, at least for the moment. As Westfall will watch ball number 2 low. Westfall will get right under that one. It'll head towards second base as Emery comes on in, but it will be caught by Pacheco. So that'll bring the 9-hitter up to the plate for the Cougars. It's the sophomore center fielder Haley Goldsby, looking to keep the Cougars from going 1, 2, 3 in the first 3 innings. So far it's been 8 up, 8 down, a no-hitter for Pollock. Goldsby takes ball 1. She'll take ball 2 as well. So a 2-0 count to Goldsby. It'll take a swing. It'll be over Mata's head. It'll be off the bottom of the wall. And that will be a double for Haley Goldsby. It'll break up the no-hitter here in the third inning and roll it over to the top of the order for Emily Garcia with a runner in scoring position now. Just what the Cougars needed. Base hit. Try and grab some momentum back here as Garcia will step into the box. Garcia had an 8-pitch at-bat in her first plate appearance. Just popped it foul to the first baseman as she will take that one up at her eyes for ball 1. And these two teams are the only two teams from the Northern Athletic Collegiate Conference in action today. Everybody else was postponed because of either the snow we got late this week or the temperature. But these two teams electing to take a crack at it. We are mid-40s here in River Forest, so not too bad. Garcia will be 1-1 count as that'll be driven out towards Cortman, but a late adjustment will help her snag that one. She had to reach back, crossed her body at the last second as that ball tailed back towards the foul line. But regardless, that'll do it for the third inning. It was a Haley Goldsby double for the first hit of the afternoon for the Cougars, but no runs on just the one hit, and they will strand Goldsby. The fourth inning when we return on the Cougar Sports Network. The first pitch of the fourth inning will be softly lined over to Garcia. She will snag it, so that will do away with Carly Emery. They'll bring Jocelyn Claudia to the plate for the Raiders. take the first pitch from Buska. Here it comes. It'll be a soft pop fly towards Contopoulos, and it is 2 pitches, 2 outs here for the Cougars. Not something we've seen through the first 3 innings. The Raiders scored 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 5 in the third. Mathematically speaking, if you continue the pattern, they're due to score 7 in this 4th inning, but 2 pitches, 2 outs for the Cougars. As pitch number 1 wisely taken. You never want to give any team a 3-pitch inning. So Pacheco will watch that one low. Pacheco 1 for 2 so far this afternoon. She's got a base hit and a ground out to shortstop. As that pitch will be low as well. A 2-0 count. For Buska so far, she's got 1 2/3 inning pitched, 6 hits, 5 runs, all 5 earned. As ball number 3 will be inside. She's faced 11 batters, pitch count of 33. 3 balls, no strikes, probably a take here for the Raiders all the way, and it is. Buska able to gently put that one in there to work the count to 3-1. That'll be stopped by Archuleta across the diamond to Hadzik. And for the first time this afternoon, the Raiders are 3 up and 3 down. The Cougars able to put them away. When we return for the bottom half of the 4th inning for the Cougars, it'll be Jessica Gang, Melissa Hadzik, and Bella Archuleta. 1, 2, 3 in the bottom half of the 4th inning. When we return on the Cougar Sports Network. To bat for the Cougars to lead off the bottom half of the 4th inning. It's the catcher, Jessica Gang. And Gang so far 0 for 1 this afternoon as she watches the first pitch out and away for ball number 1. Ball number 2 goes slow as well. Winds pick back up here, still blowing from left to right field. Pollock delivers pitch 3. It's going to be softly grounded to shortstop. O'Donnell will field it and throw to first base for another 6-3 put out. So here is the Cougars' first baseman, stepping in for her second at-bat of the afternoon. Pollock's first pitch will be a strike over the plate. And the off-speed pitch will fall in there as well. Down 0-2 now. No balls, 2 strikes here. That pitch is out. 1-2. Archuleta stands on deck waiting for her crack at Pollock, and that is a swing and a miss. Strike number 3. That's a first strikeout for the Cougars this afternoon, and Pollock does lead the NAC in strikeouts. That's her 29th of the year. So here is the senior third baseman, Bella Archuleta, who put a close to that last inning. She takes ball 1. Archuleta will once again over Mata's head, but she will be held at first base. Mata quick to get that ball back into the infield. But that'll be a 2-out base hit for Bella Archuleta. So here is Arissa Santos, who grounded to third base in her first at-bat. We'll see what she can do here with 2 outs and 1 runner on for the Cougars. Here's pitch number 1, and it is over the third baseman's head. Forrest is unable to snag that one, so it'll be consecutive base hits for the first time this afternoon for Concordia. They've got 2 on with 2 out. And batting now is the pitcher. Initially it was Eden Pufall. Now Megan Buska into pitch and into hit as well. So Buska from the left side of the box with 2 on and 2 out. In the 4th inning, the Cougars trail 9-0. They are at risk of getting run ruled here shortly if they cannot put a pair of runs on the board in the next 4 outs. As Buska's count is now 1-1. Coach Sarah O'Malley Fisher reminding the runners there's 2 outs. They will be moving on contact as Buska will watch that one low and away for ball 2. And there is ball 3, high and away. Buska comes into this game with 13 hits so far on the year, hitting at .231 for the Cougars. She's got a hitter's count here. It's 3-1 with 2 on, and that's ball 4, and that'll load the bases here for the Cougars in the bottom half of the 4th inning. The first time, really, that the Raiders have seen any semblance of pressure so far this afternoon. That'll be Callie Tierney, the junior left-handed hitter, in with the bases loaded. Tierney grounded to the shortstop in her last at-bat, as ball 1 will be right on the outside corner. So here's the second pitch, and Tierney will reach for it, trying to cover the outside corner, but can't get there, and she's down 0-2 now. Got the bases loaded, 2 outs. The count is 0-2 for Tierney. Here is Pollock trying to get out of this inning, and Tierney will stay alive. Fly ball towards the church. It'll be off the cement and no windows, so the car count is 0 and the window count is 0 as well. A rather boring afternoon outside of the lines. Not that, of course, I'm promoting any broken windows, but there's a second shot at the church, but it'll stay in. Like it caught the top of the net, keeping the church behind us safe. So Tierney stays alive here, but still 2 strikes with 2 outs. The bases loaded. Here's the 0-2. It's going to be grounded to second base, where it'll be corralled and flipped over to first, and the Raiders will get out of this one, but the Cougars threaten for the first time this afternoon, load the bases with 2 outs, but unable to push any runs across. We will have the 5th inning when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the campus of River Forest. We've got some action softball here this afternoon. It is 2 o'clock officially in the Central Time Zone. Here is Addie Cortman, the 8-hitter for the Raiders, and she will take the first pitch. It'll be low, but it'll be called a strike by the home plate umpire. As Cortman 1 for 2 this afternoon. It is still Buska in the circle for the Cougars as the off speed will get Cortman swinging. A little off balance there. As Cortman is now down 0-2 to start the 5th inning. As that'll be just off the plate near the chalk of the left-handed batter's box. And we're starting to get some more cars parked along Division Street here. Risky, risky business. As Cortman will take a crack at that one, it'll be line foul. Pentopoulos to Santos to Garcia, back to Buska in the circle. They've got a 1-2 count for Cortman. See if Buska goes back to the off speed here. And that's off the plate as well. So worked back to a 2-2 count. That'll be blooped, and Garcia will be unable to over the shoulder catch that one. Westfall will send it back into the infield. And it's a leadoff single for Addie Cortman. She will get what appears to be a fruit snack maybe at first base. We'll have to investigate that in between games. Looks like we're going to get some sort of lineup change here. Possible pinch runner here for Cortman. It will be pinch runner for Cortman. So Caroline Forrest will still take her at bat. But it'll be number 14 instead entering for MSOE. So Cortman will get credit for the single and her work will be done. As here is Caroline Forrest, as that'll be hit out into right center field over Westfall's glove. That'll be a double. A double for Caroline Forrest. So the Raiders are hitting from the top of the lineup all the way to the bottom. That was Forrest's second hit of the afternoon as well. So it's Noelle Dahl at third base, and Dahl will score as that is lined out to right field. Westfall will fire home to keep Forrest at third base. That is run number 10 for the Raiders. As Mata took that first pitch and drove it out to right field, a hard shot in between the first and second baseman for the Cougars. So here's going to be Jenna O'Donnell with runners at the corners. Raiders now with a 10-run lead. It looks like we're going to get another pitching change for the Cougars. It's going to be Callie Tierney in for Megan Buska. So as Tierney gets warmed up to enter this contest down 10-0, we will take a break on the Cougars Sports Network. We will be back for the rest of the 5th inning. back. Here is Tierney's first pitch. And it'll be a strike. O'Donnell will take it. Gang will throw down. Garcia will cut it off, and the runners will move to second and third. So two in scoring position here for the Raiders with nobody out. Jenna O'Donnell at the plate. No balls, one strike. So O'Donnell will send that one up and out. Missed all the cars once again. It is sitting on the sidewalk over there on the north side of Division Street. So the count will be 0-2 here for the two-hitter for the Raiders. O'Donnell, and that one will be off the plate and high. So Tierney, another lefty pitcher for the Cougars. So O'Donnell will chase that one to stay alive, but it'll be grounded foul to Archuleta. So with nobody out here and runners in scoring position for O'Donnell, looking for a fly ball to the outfield or something on the right half of the infield, but instead she will watch strike three. And that'll be the first strikeout this afternoon for Callie Tierney, the second for the Cougars pitchers. So we've got Jenna Traywin here with one out. Her last at bat was a double to left center field, where she plated three runners as well. So with one out, runners on second and third, Raiders up 10-0 here in the top half of the fifth inning. The run rule is 8. So at this point, the Cougars will at least have to score 3 in the bottom half of the fifth inning to stay alive. That is if no more damage is done here in the top half of the fifth. So at least 3 in the bottom half for the Cougars. It's a 2-0 count here for Treewin. Tierney's pitch is going to be low and outside. A 3-0 count. And this could be careful pitching here with a base open on first. They are being very careful pitching to Treewin here, as she's already had a pair of hits this afternoon, as that one will be off the plate as well. So they will give her first base, sort of a intentional, unintentional walk. But not dealing with Jenna Treywin will leave you with Jada Nelson, who is 1 for 3 this afternoon. But she's got the bases loaded with only one out for the Raiders. Looks like we're going to see another pinch runner. It'll be 4 for 11. And number 4 is Carly Witteveen, the junior from Fremont, Michigan. The fellow Michigander standing at first base. So now one out here for the Raiders. First pitch to Nelson will be a strike on the outside portion of the plate. Raiders right now 14 for 28, hitting an even 500 with 5 extra base hits, as that pitch will be low and away. Eight for 14 with runners in scoring position. As that was pretty close to hitting Nelson. That would have let an easy run in. So now 2-1 is the count on Jada Nelson. Tierney's pitch. It'll be lined out to right field. Kentopoulos will grab it. It'll be 1 run. Forrest across to score. Mata will head home on the errant throw. Archuleta's throw will not be caught by Gang, and the runners will advance to second and third, so 2 will plate on Jada Nelson's line drive to right field. This is 12-0 now. So one RBI will be credited to Nelson. The other score will be on the error. The throw from Kentopoulos. Here is the right fielder, Carly Emery. 1 for 3 as well this afternoon. Raiders now batting .600 with runners in scoring position, and they've got a pair of them here for Emery. As that'll be grounded to Santos. Santos will come home. That'll be safe at home. The throw is low. Gang is able to block and keep it in front of her, but no out will be secured. So Emery will reach on the fielder's choice. It'll be an RBI regardless, and it's 13-0 for the Raiders. Cougars now will have to score 6 runs in the bottom half of the 5th. So here is the first baseman, Jocelyn Claudy. Another Raider that is 1 for 3 this afternoon. As that ball is going to bounce off Division Street and over a car. So the accuracy on the foul balls is not very great so far this afternoon. 3 hit Division Street, no cars. Here's Tierney's pitch. It'll be off the net as well here on the first base line. And as we speak, the only 2 players that have not recorded a hit in the lineup right now for the Raiders are the 2 pinch runners who have not yet had a plate appearance. And there's a 3rd consecutive shot. And there's the first car off the passenger side window. It is still intact. And that's a bonus. But the car count is uno. Here's Tierney's 0-2 pitch, a ground ball. Emery will remain at first base, and third base coach is not real happy about that decision. Should have been a freebie there. Should have put 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out, but still they will be runners at the corners with 1 out. The count is now 1-2 for Jocelyn Claudy, the Raider first baseman. Here's the pitch. It's low, right back up the middle. And that'll score another for the Raiders. And there is run number 14 to come across. Was Jada Nelson. So now it'll be the right-handed batter, number 5, Celine Pacheco. Pacheco, the senior from Vail, Arizona. She takes ball 1 low and away. And ball 2 will be low and away as well. So a 2-0 count here early for Celine Pacheco. I feel like I'm a broken record, but Pacheco as well, 1 for 3 this afternoon. So with only 1 out, the Raiders have 2 on, and there's ball 3. So Tierney now 1 pitch away from walking the bases loaded. And she will do just that on that pitch, which is once again low. So 4 straight pitches in the dirt. And Jessica Gang will once again call timeout. And it appears we will get a 3rd pinch runner as well. So the Pinch runner will be 28 for 5. That is Evie Medina, the freshman from Morton Grove, Illinois, a Niles West high school graduate. And to bat now, in her first plate appearance this afternoon was the first pinch runner. It's Noelle Dahl, number 14. So she is 0 for 0 this afternoon, looking to join the rest of her teammates with a base hit, as she will take strike one on the outside part of the plate. The bases are loaded here, 1 out. Raiders up 14-0 here in the 5th inning, as that pitch will be off the end of the bat, fouled off, and Noelle Dahl will find herself in an 0-2 count here to start the at-bat. Tierney getting right back into this one after 4 straight balls. She pulls back with 2 quality pitches, and here's the third, and that'll be outside in the left-handed batter's box, so a 1-2 count here. Dahl is ready for the 1-2 count, and that'll be low. Gang is able to stop it. Dahl will send that one to shortstop, and Santos will fire home. Gang will scoop it, so that'll be the force out. So Dahl will reach on a fielder's choice, but the Cougars will not allow a run there, as they are able to get Emery before she crosses home plate. So now the bases are loaded with 2 outs, and we will get another pinch runner, or excuse me, a pinch hitter. It's number 10, Haley Murray, the senior from Black Duck, Minnesota, Black Duck High School. She will enter for the third baseman, Caroline Flores. So that'll be a ball inside. So ball 1. So Murray will bat here with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the top half of the 5th inning. That'll be outside as well, so Tierney just off the plate on both the inside and outside corners. 2-0 count. And there's the first strike of Murray's at-bat. So it's Claudia on second, Modena on, Claudia on third, Modena on second, and Dahl on first. As Gang will fire to pick off Dahl, but she is back safely. So we have a 3-1 count here for Murray. And Tierney's got to bring it right now. Just cannot afford another walk. And that'll be low. That'll be run number 15. I'll roll it over to the top of the lineup. It's number 8, Faith Mata, who already has 3 hits to her credit this afternoon. So with 2 outs, it's Mata standing in with the bases loaded. And she will take the first pitch. It'll bloop into left center field. It'll score Modena. It'll score Dahl. Murray to third. They can't pick it up out in left center field, but Murray will hold at third. It'll be a Faith Mata double and her 4th hit of the afternoon. That ball was unable to be picked up out there in left center field towards the warning track. So here stands in Jenna O'Donnell. She will follow that one off towards Division Street as well. And looked like that narrowly avoided a car. So if my count's correct, we've got 5 foul balls to the road and 1 car. An 0-1 count here for O'Donnell. As that pitch will be inside but called a strike. O'Donnell has doubled with an RBI, reached on a fielder's choice in an error, and then struck out looking in her last at-bat. She's down 0-2, a foul ball. There will keep her alive. The count will stay at 0-2. The Cougars will have to plate 10 runs in the bottom half of the 5th inning to stay alive in this one, as Jenna O'Donnell follows that one to the on-deck circle. When the Cougars return, it'll be Gina Westfall, Haley Goldsby, and Emily Garcia. So 8-9-1 for the Cougars. And it'll be Westfall and Goldsby's only second appearance so far this afternoon. This is O'Donnell's 5th. So the Raiders have been through the lineup now into 5 times. The Cougars have yet to finish their second time through the lineup. Of course, the 17-0 score is indicative of that. So is the base runners left on base. There's 2 on base now as that pitch is high for O'Donnell. The count is 1-2 to the Raiders shortstop. Tierney pitches that one. O'Donnell fouls it right back up towards us here in the booth. A few folks in the press box flinching here, doing their best, although there is a net and a screen, a glass screen in front of us. So, man, 2 lines of protection still didn't stop these folks up here in the booth. O'Donnell fouls that one straight back, but it'll stay inside as well. So another strong at-bat here by Jenna O'Donnell. She's done a nice job staying alive here. The Raiders have played 8 runs in this 5th inning. Here's O'Donnell, a 1-2 pitch, and that's a shot out to left field, and that's going to be off the bottom of the wall. There'll be 1 run scored. Mata will come around to score. It's a stand-up double for Jenna O'Donnell. That'll be runs 18 and 19. So here is Coach Sarah O'Malley Fisher to call timeout, and it appears that Tierney's day will be done as well. It'll be Pufall back to the circle, and Eden Pufall started this game for the Cougars. We then saw Megan Buska and Callie Tierney now back to Eden Pufall to hopefully finish this game. Just got to get this last out here. Once the Cougars do that, they will have to play 12 to stay alive. So it'll be just re-entered. So 2 will enter back as the DP. 16 re-enters the game. Well, tomorrow afternoon we'll have some more NAC softball. It'll be Edgewood traveling to Milwaukee, Wisconsin to take on the division opponent Alverno. On Tuesday, it'll be most of the NAC in action. Beloit at Alverno, Ripon at Marion, North Central at Aurora, St. Norbert at Dominican. And Dominican, our Division Street rival here, just a few blocks down the road, nationally ranked, are the Stars of Dominican. So here's Pufall. Re-entered the game here with 2 outs in the 5th inning. She fires in strike number 1. It's the first at-bat of the day for the second pitch hitter. As that'll be a fly out to center field, so Carly Witteveen will be put away. The junior number 4. So Goldsby and Pufall will get the Cougars out of this inning, but not before the damage was done. It was 10 runs plated in the 5th inning for the Raiders. The Cougars trail 19-0. They need 12 runs to stay alive this afternoon. If they cannot play 12, game 1 will be done in favor of the Raiders. We will find out what happens when we return on the Cougar Sports Network. All right, for the Cougars to lead us off in the bottom half of the 5th inning, it is number 9, Gina Westfall. And Westfall will almost certainly have to reach base if the Cougars want to have a shot at this one. They're currently 3 for 15, batting at the 200 mark as Westfall takes strike number 1. Pitch number 2 will be strike number 2, fouled back towards us once again. So Westfall now in a hole 0-2. That'll be off the plate for ball number 1. And for Katie Pollock, it's been a gem for her this afternoon. 53 pitches thrown. 4 innings so far. Another one right back towards us here in the booth. It's been 4 innings, only 3 hits, 1 walk, a strikeout, no earned runs, and 16 total batters faced. As Westfall flies that one straight up into the air, it'll tail towards third base and won't be caught. As that one went straight up and towards the dugout, and the wind brought it back towards the third base line. So Westfall will stay alive here in this at-bat. The count will be 1-2 as Murray unable to snag that one. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It'll be flown out to Mata in center field. Mata will grab it, and that'll be the first out in the 5th inning. A bring to the plate number 4, the center fielder Haley Goldsby, and she was the one to break the no-hitter in her first at-bat. She is 1 for 1 with a double to the center field wall. She takes strike 1 there. So Goldsby gonna need to reach base once again, as that is foul ball over the first base dugout, but off the net towards the first base coach. Just got an 0-2 count on Goldsby here. The 0-2 pitch is swung on and lined off the glove of Jenna O'Donnell. Likely a hit there. That would have been a tough ask for the shortstop, as Goldsby reaches first. She's reached twice so far this afternoon. She is credited with a hit. So Haley Goldsby 2 for 2 this afternoon. Here's the freshman, the second baseman, Emily Garcia. She takes ball 1 high. Garcia's 0 for 2 today. But a player that certainly the Cougars are excited about. It's just a freshman in their leadoff spot. She is hitting .406 so far this season. As she's up 2-0 in the count. Yeah, there's a good pitch there by Pollock. That ball is over Division Street there as well. So a 2-1 count here for Garcia and Pollock. Pollock pitches inside. It's 3-1 now with Goldsby at first base. And Cougars can't get all 12 back here. Just going to have to string together a few hits with one out here in the 5th inning. As Garcia will watch ball 4 go low and inside. So 2 on now with 1 out. And that'll bring the junior catcher Jessica Gang to the plate. And for Gang, she currently sits 22nd in the NAC in batting average at .423. As that is a strike on the outside corner of the plate. She's got 26 hits so far this season with 14 RBIs. So a runner in scoring position here. As that's blooped into right field, but oh, it's going to be caught. Another nice play out in right field, but this time it's by Modena. So a pair of running catches out in right field, and that'll put Jessica Gang away. So with 2 outs, Cougars now down to their last out, and that pitch will be inside. So 2 on with 2 out. Got Hajik at the plate with Archuleta on deck. As that's going to be lined down the right field line. It's going to be foul. Just a few feet. From an RBI double there. So the runners will return to first and second. Count is 1-1. Is that straight up and out? So Concordia now down to the final strike of the afternoon. So here is Pollock trying to go for the complete game shutout. That's a base hit up the middle. Mata will field it, and she's going to fire home. But Goldsby will score and break up the shutout. So Melissa Hodzik able to get the RBI base hit with 2 strikes, and that'll be the first earned run for the Cougars and the first one given up by the Raiders pitcher Katie Pollock, who's gone 4 2/3 inning pitch now. That was pitch number 70. Only 5 hits and 1 earned run given up. So here is Annabelle Archuleta, 1 for 2 so far this afternoon. As she'll be a little bit tardy on that one. She falls in the count 0-2. So once again, the Cougars on their last strike with 2 runners on. 1 on first, 1 on second with 2 outs. They're down 19-1, but need 11 to stay alive. Third pitch of the at-bat is high. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Pollock. Right back at us here. The count will remain at 0-2. It's Arissa Santos waiting on deck for her crack. Her third crack at Pollock. We'll see if we can get there. Archuleta, a 1-2 count. And that'll be a hit by pitch off of the left tricep of Archuleta. So that'll load the bases for the sophomore shortstop, number 15, Arissa Santos. The bases loaded with 2 outs. The second time the Cougars are able to load the bases this afternoon. The first time they went home empty without any runs. We'll see what happens here. That first pitch is fired in for a strike. And that's a shot out to left field, and that'll be off the top of the wall. Hadzik will score. Archuleta will score. So it'll be a bases clearing double for Arissa Santos, and the Cougars stay alive a little longer. And that looked like it was just a few inches from being a grand slam for Santos, right under the scoreboard. Might have even hit the yellow. But regardless, a 2-out double that'll score 3 for the Cougars. So 19-4 now is the score. The Cougars need to play 8 more in this 5th inning with 2 outs to stay alive. So it'll be Eden Pufall, who was the starting pitcher. He took 1 at-bat in the 3rd inning before being removed from the game. Now she returns, so 0 for 1. She popped out to the first baseman in her only at-bat this afternoon. She'll take strike 1. So it's Santos at second base. 2 down in this inning. Pollock will stay in, at least for now, to finish, as Pufall will take that one and swing right through it. She's down 0-2 now. For the 3rd time in this inning, the Cougars down to their final strike. Here's that pitch. It's going to be inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So it's Witteveen behind the plate. Pollock pitching. Claudia, Medina, O'Donnell, and Murray in the infield. Emery, Mata, and Dahl in the outfield. As Pufall will swing at that one, and it's going to be out of bounds, out of play. So Pufall will stay alive. Her teammates chanting to hit the ball the other way. And the Cougars are going to need Pufall to do that. Here we go. The 1-2 pitch is swung on to second base. It'll be fielded by Modena and thrown to Claudia. And that'll do it for game number 1. The final score, 19-4. The Raiders topple the Cougars in game 1. We will have game 2 action shortly. But before we send it off, let's recap this first game. So Pollock goes the whole way for the Raiders. She pitched 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, all 4 earned. 2 walks, a strikeout, and 85 total pitches. Raiders took the lead in the first and never looked back. They scored 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 5 in the third, and played at 10 in the 5th to get to 19. The Cougars try to rally and play 4 in the 5th inning, but it's not enough. So that'll do it from Cougar Stadium, at least for game 1. We'll be back with game 2, but for now, enjoy your rest. Get some popcorn. Hopefully you all are staying warm. We'll be back for game 2 on the Cougar Sports Network.